Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I have the intro now because this is going to be a proper video. Also, there's someone doing things outside. Sorry if it's loud. But today I'm going to do a Trainbox showcase of my new engines, not the ones that I've previously shown. So anyway, I'm going to be making a Trainbox video showcase video today. How many times have I already said video? Anyway. So here we have this little dude with very small wheels and an oversized boiler. I guess I have a name for him. He's like Blue Knight or something. He's got two lights, that little bar in the front. He's got a blue roof, and his cab doesn't really have any details. Then there's the coal tender with a lamp on the back. He can attach two cars, and he runs R40. Let's move on to the next locomotive. So next we have this green locomotive, which I took off the four red wheels. Remember those? And I added four extra wheels. So now it's a 242, and it runs R40, and it can couple up to cars. Lego minifigure for scale. But that's really about it for this engine. If you watched my previous video on it. It also doesn't have the tender anymore. But on to the next one. So the next one I have here is a diesel. And y'all may remember this, in which the windows didn't really look like this, but they were like swapped. It also had like thinner, smaller railings that didn't go outwards, and it didn't have as many ladders, and it didn't have as many wheels. But now it's got couplers or buffers, same thing, on both ends. Wow. And let's see here, a minifigure for scale on the diesel. But I built this thing into like a 45 tonner diesel. Looks pretty cool. But that's about it for this diesel. And on to the next locomotive. So the next locomotive I have here is a 040 locomotive. It may not look like it from the front, but you can see in the windows kinda. Wait, on the underside you can see that it's a 040 with very large wheels. And I designed this thing after the New York Central's jet train. This is what it looks like, basically. It's like a Beetle. That's what I designed it after, mostly. It's 8 studs wide. Pretty sure it'll run R40 curves. That's it for this locomotive, and on to the next. The next locomotive I have is also streamlined, sorta, mostly, aside from the piston on the side, and a very large wheel. Its number is 1, like Thomas, and then it's got this like window on the front, and then that's what these are, like ladders or something, right there. And then like behind the wheel is the boiler is supposed to be. I'm pretty sure it'll run R40. Also known as the standard Lego curves. And it's designed like an arrow or bullet. And there's like the window on the back, same with like the other one. It looks fast. Here's a minifigure for size comparison. If it doesn't look like it's going to impale his head. Get this dude out of here, get the flashlight out of here. Let's move on to the final locomotive. So it's technically still a 0660 or now a 0120. It's this now. The frame is slightly shortened, the wheels, it runs smoothly. I'm pretty sure it would run R40 because it's only got 4 flanged wheels. But there's actually 2 different designs of this one. And if YouTube lets me have comments on this video, then y'all will tell me in the comments if I should have these instead of that just one large beam going across the wheels. So this will probably take a few minutes to do. Oh yeah, I removed some details. Same thing on the other side. The tender is still the same, exactly. So do y'all think this design? Or do y'all like this design where it's got individual rods? Despite it would run half as worse. Which means like worse on a half level, but still runs alright. Or pretty good actually, because I still have the other rod, because these usually just move freely. It's one whole rigid thing, instead of having the back wheels articulate, in which a real-life locomotive doesn't do that, only the front wheels articulate. Unless you count the 4464 non-articulated, one of the largest, if not the largest, American rigid frame locomotive. No, that would that would go to the Union Pacific 9000. I'm pretty sure. The AA-20. I might make that out of Lego one day. Probably not. Maybe, I don't know. Well, eventually one day I'm going to make a Lego steam locomotive with as many wheels as I have, including the red ones. But that's really about it for this video. But I'm not really sure which one to do, to have either the separate rods or have the one giant rod. In the giant rod, it can go up and down hills, and it's a lot smoother than these. But if YouTube let me has comments again, is what I'm saying. I'm saying if YouTube lets me have comments on this video, and if y'all tell me in the comments if YouTube lets me have comments on this video, that's like the 5th, 6th time I've said that. If which ones is the giant rod or the single rods? And again, minifigure for comparison. But that's going to do it for today's video. I'm not really sure what the next one is going to be about. That's going to do it for today's video. There's no outro though. So see y'all in the next one. Bye.